All hail the King of Northumberland.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Toon Review. We have a full house tonight, as you can see. We're all here and eagerly going to be chatting about various things. Newcastle United tonight, of course, with the transfer window now officially opened at midnight last night. There was a few people decided to stay up till midnight, decided to stay up till midnight, 1 a.m., waiting for that first name through the door after Matt Targett. It hasn't materialised, and if anything, it's gone a little quiet on some players. But we do have a good show for you tonight because we're going to talk about, obviously, Dan Ashworth coming in because, Danielle hasn't been with us during the week due to work commitments. So we'll talk about him again. We'll also talk about Matt Targett coming in because I think Danielle's quite pleased about that. And also we've got some other names in the pipeline, and we're just going to discuss them. More Premier League related, actually, coming to Newcastle rather than foreign. But we will see as the show goes on. But as usual, take part in the show in the live comments, guys. We love getting all your thoughts and ideas on who we should have, who we shouldn't have. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please do hit the subscription button. If you're new, it's free to do so. And if you'd like to donate to the channel as well, just hit that $sign at the bottom of the live comments, which will take you through that way. And that's the way you get your comment read straight away as well. But let's move on with some comments before we get going. Danny, good evening. If Botman comes in this weekend or next week, can we get a front line, please? I'm scared we won't have the creativity this season because Eki Teki is injured and not scored for France in that whole tournament. Ryan says AC have given up on Botman after £47 million offer goes in from Newcastle. From what I've seen, he's not the only defender we want. There's also Roma, Brazil centre-back. There's quite a few centre-backs. Dylan says, any talk about any young lads being bought for the youth setup? Well, we've got one in already, haven't we? The Irish lad, Murphy. Is he? So I think, you know what, they'll probably be filtering in the academy as time goes by.
Of course it will. It'll be a longer term thing, won't it?
Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of connections to young players as well the last week. Because
we had a couple on the last transfer show,
Roger Fernandez. There's a lot of younger names floated around in the last week.
And Lewis Potter scored for the under-21s tonight. So,
sorry, Billy.
Lewis Potter scored for the under-21s tonight.
Yes, exactly. So we but like Danielle said, I think that the academy side will certainly take sort of backseat at the minute to getting the first team sorted for the coming season, and then Dan Ashworth will go to work building up from the bottom. I've no doubt about that. And sad news today regarding the former Northern Ireland manager Billy Bingham, who of course passed away. Thoughts and prayers with his family and friends today. I didn't actually realise just before Billy told me before the show started. Of course, we have vast memories, being slightly older, of sort of Billy Bingham with the Northern Ireland setup and things like that. And he was a character. There's no doubt about that. And football's lost a very, very good man today. But as I say, commiserations to his family and friends. Gary says, good evening, Paul, Alex, Billy, and good to see you back, Danielle. Evening, everyone in the chat. Glenn says, hi, all. No news about signings today.
I'll take January all over again, isn't it?
Oh, man. Honestly, it's incredible how many people, when you read through social media today, you're thinking, everybody's blind panicking at everything, and it just needs to calm down a little bit.
You know what's happened? All the ITKs have been had their artists spanked this week, so they're very
absolutely,
quiet,
it is. And everybody that was doing welcome to Newcastle videos for Eki Teki, etc. It's beyond recognition, really, because until they're holding that shirt, there's nothing confirmed, because like last night showed, anything can happen that can change a transfer very, very quickly. Dan says, good evening, Toon Review gang. The excitement of incomings and outgoings starts from me now. Botman for sure will be our second signing after his game international finishes tomorrow. Hitmarker's in the house. Good evening. Gutted about T-Cake's injury. Oh, God, that's a good one, that actually. Paul, good evening. Up the mag says, I still hope we sign him even with the injury. Gutted about Diaby too. Yeah, that's Bayer Leverkusen turn around today, Alex, and saying no go. He's not leaving.
Yeah, well, the Express did an interview with the president, and he's come out and, well, they asked him about any offers they'd received, and his translated response, according to the Express, is no, for sure we want to keep Musa for as long as possible. So I don't think that rules out 100% things. That's a vague statement that's been translated in an interview for the Express. It doesn't mean he's not going to be available. You never know. We'll see.
Exactly. We will see, but it doesn't look great. Of course, Paqueta is still being mentioned left, right, and centre. I don't know, Billy. I'm not sure about Paqueta. I think there's something just saying to me that, that's not a signing that we're going to make this summer.
I think if we do, I think it'll be later in the summer. I think if Lucas Paqueta was to go to the chairman of the club and demand a move, I think the price would come down then. But it's whether we'll do that. Obviously, only if he does that. So, yeah, it's 50-50 for me. I think it could still happen, but I think if it does happen, it'll be much later in the window. We've got 6 weeks of it or more than that to go, haven't we?
Leon are changing right now, so it might not. It's not as what's his name? Foster Gillett, or Gillett, however we're saying that. For the US guy, the keeper reporting that he's put up 600 million euros for the biggest chair in Lyon. So that and the rumours are that he's quite happy for Paqueta to go, and several others. They're going to do a rebuild. Paqueta's also said himself he wants to leave. So it seems way more likely he's going to go. And there's a lot of people, journalists and things like that, talking about how now the situation's changed. You never know. So yeah, the price might come down as well.
And I think we're in the box seat as well of all the clubs that want him because of obviously his links to Bruno. So, and he's been here and he's been serious.
Yeah, it's just a shame that all these internationals are going on at the minute because it's kind of got in the way, hasn't it, of sort of new signings coming in, and it's really a pain in the arse. Danielle, Dan Ashworth, of course, during the week officially took over from Newcastle. I don't know whether you've seen any interviews with him.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on him?
He's a smooth operator, isn't he?
Yeah.
I watched it and I just got the impression, like, as much of a lovely man he is, you wouldn't want to cross him, would you? So I can imagine him, putting deals together and having those discussions. I bet he seems to be quite, straight down the line, knows what he wants. He's not going to take any shit from anybody, is he? That's a good thing. That's the sort of strong vibe I get from him, that he's not going to take any crap. When we talked, I mean, you know all about this, Danielle, with Manchester United and the Newcastle United tax and all the struggles with Lingard. Yes. He's not going to take any of that because what I get from him is that if he's going to do that, Danielle, then he's just going to walk away and say, right, we'll go and get somebody else. Absolutely. And I think we've talked about before that, it no longer is the case that there's one option for each kind of position we want to buy. So I think it is the case that we're not going to be held for ransom. And thank God the owners have been able to get him through before November, because we really need him for this window. As much of a good job they did in January, we need him. And it made it even more exciting for me now that he's here, because he knows what he's doing, back to front, inside out. So really looking forward to it.
Yeah, of course, it's not just the first team, is it? It's the
whole picture.
Whole picture from top to bottom, including I would assume he'd get involved in the ladies' team as well if they're going to be part of the Newcastle United umbrella. Yeah. So we've got a lot of excitement to come with him, and like I say, probably his main job over the summer is concentrating on the first team, getting us right, getting the squad right, along with Eddie Howe, everything in place, ready for pre-season, and then he will start looking elsewhere. Once the season starts. Lee, thanks for becoming a new member. Not sure whether that's a new or renewed, but thank you very much. Really appreciate that. And of course, Danielle, Matt Targett comes in. we were. I mean, whether you were, I don't know whether you watched the shows, but we were shocked. You know, we were quite shocked because it was one of them that we spoke about where nobody expected it to happen because it had all gone really quiet on Matt Targett, and then bang, suddenly he's in for a medical and he's signed.
Yeah, and that's how it should be. I was very much under the impression, maybe I was led down the garden path, that there was an issue with his wife perhaps not wanting to settle in the northeast. I don't know if that was true or not, but clearly, you know, that's how business should be done, and I'm absolutely over the moon for him. Like, after the game against Arsenal, he said, I think everybody knows what I want, and that's what made me think, you know, he really loves it here, he really wants to be part of us. Absolutely buzzing. For me, there was only ever one kind of target, and that was Matt Targett. Absolutely delighted that he's here. He fits into the team in the way Eddie plays so well. Just absolutely delighted. Over the moon.
Definitely. Dan says, such a good intro, that mind. Nice to see a full house. Are you guys planning on the pre-season friendlies? Well, we'll sort them out once we know what's going on with tickets, etc. Who's going to be there? I doubt very much that they're going to be televised in any kind of way, sort of. No. I mean, I would imagine there might be some stream out there doing it, but maybe in America, I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. Back
in the day, the club themselves used to stream friendlies on the website like years ago, so they might sort something.
Well, the York City game I remember was on some sort of. Was that on YouTube? I think they streamed it on YouTube, didn't they?
York City did. That wasn't us.
Oh yeah, and it was absolutely it was hell on earth to watch, to be honest. But even though, hope everyone is okay. Hopefully, Ekiteke's injury isn't too bad, as I'd love him here. Just hope he wants the move. I mean, Billy, you were on with us last night when we did the watch along. I think we were expecting to do a watch along. We billed it as Munoz against Ekiteke, but we were really looking forward to seeing. Ekiteke and looking at his pace and his skill and what he could bring to Newcastle, and then of course he makes that dart and run down the left-hand side to beat the defender and pulled up after 4.5 minutes.
But what a 4.5 minutes they were!
Oh, spectacular! He was awesome.
He limped quicker than what Chris Wood can sprint, was the one thing I took from it. Seriously, the lad's obviously got a lot of talent. Unfortunately, we didn't see it last night. But there's rumours on the grapevine. I watched NUFC Matters earlier. Apparently, he didn't rehab properly after his injury in January. That's something to do with why he's gone again now. But I don't think a hammy will stop any kind of medical. Depends where you go, I guess. Different strokes, different folks. But the lad's 19. He's going to get knocks and injuries, and he's not going to be playing 38 games a season, obviously, at this time in his career.
That's the thing that people had to worry about, though, isn't it, Billy? Is if he's 19 and he's picked up 2 hamstring injuries here, is that good, or is that just simply because he's still filling out, he's still growing as a man? Is that a possibility?
It could be any of those things, yeah. And like the possibility of him not rehabbing properly, and different qualities of medical staff at different clubs, different leagues. There's lots of things you've got to look at. But I imagine all that'll be picked up in a medical if it ever comes to that. Say different clubs medicals have different strengths to them. Yeah, so
absolutely.
I wouldn't put say the signings down on the medical side alone. It's whether he wants to come or not. It's a big answer, a quick question.
Yeah, because of course there is. Well, I mean, the talk about his agent putting the meetings off, etc. Now, some people have said that was last week that he delayed the meeting. Some people have said it's this week he's delayed it. So again, it's one of these things that's in the background, and only Newcastle United will know the situation that is going on with him at the minute. So we will just have to wait and see what comes over the weekend or next week. Obviously, he's out of the tournament now because of the injury. He won't play in the final. I'd be staggered if he does, to be honest. But he may look on now to getting a move sorted for himself. Michael says Dubravka, Trippier, Botman, Shah, Targett, Eriksson, Joe 7, Bruno, Paqueta, Wilson, ASM. That team finishes top 8 if they can pull it off and stay fit. That is a hell of an 11.
Absolutely.
That tingles my titties in a way. Wow. That 11, come on. I mean, if we were to pull those signings off and have that 11, that is outstanding. Alex, you look a bit. You're looking.
Is that 11?
Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah,
it is 11. Joe Linton, Bruno, Eriksson, Paqueta in a midfield-ish with.
So I would imagine that means that Wilson, ASM is kind of playing a free role and Wilson up top.
Sounds
interesting. Paul Tully, thank you for your £5 super chat. He says, new shirts are nice, love the colours and thinner stripes, but praying that the red goes from the training gear. Great coverage and analysis, everyone. And James Mann, thank you for your £5 super chat as well, matey. No comment there, but thank you for your donation. Danielle, I haven't had your views yet on this.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. I mean, don't get us wrong; it's not my favourite. I want the white and green one. But hey, look, it's a black and white shirt for me. Couldn't give a toss about Fun 88. Not bothered. But it'll be what it is, and the club will do the right thing in terms of the sponsorship when the time is right to do so. I like it. I don't know if I'll buy it because I've got my heart set on the green and white one.
What have you made of all the rigmarole about the sponsorship, Danielle? People sort of say, no, I'm not buying it because it's still funny on the shirt and that it should have been one of the Saudi companies. What's your take on that?
I don't know. In kind of the way I think about it, it doesn't matter right now in terms of Fun 88. We will get our Saudi sponsor eventually. But if it's for gambling reasons and, we can't have it anyway next season, so they'll have to go at the end of this season.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's one season.
A kind of point I made the other day is we're owned by Saudi Arabia, the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia. Does that give us the right to be moral arbitrators of a gambling company? I'm not sure about that. Hey, look, they've been good to the fans, Fun 88, in terms of, the giveaways they do and, the interaction that they have with the fan base.
I think they've been very good, and certainly
I think they're all right.
The Twitter account's been awesome. I think, as you say, really interacting with the fans, lots of giveaways, just like a sponsor really should be. So absolutely. You know what? Let them have the last season, and then they go from there.
I thought about this earlier about Fun 88 and the Saudi ownership and stuff. Yeah, and how people were saying how rigid they are with the morality about gambling, the LGBT, and that since they've been at the club has still promoted the pride stuff and the gambling stuff. To me, it looks like it's a softening of stuff that's going on in Saudi Arabia at the moment, and all good.
Well, we did say maybe they can learn a bit from us and vice versa.
Absolutely, that's the journey. That's the journey. It's Vision 2030, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Let's see what happens. Keith says, got word my mug has been shipped. Yep, they've all gone. All of them have been shipped apart from Statos because he delayed in getting his address to me today because his phone died and various other things. So his will have to depart on Monday, unfortunately. But everyone's has gone, apart from the last few orders that we've just got in. Obviously, they've been sent to the manufacturer to be made, and we'll get them out as soon as they come back to us. There may be a problem with a couple of the international ones because the post office decided to tell me that, or not to tell me that I needed custom stickers on them. So they may take a little bit longer to get to you, but they have all gone. So hopefully they start arriving probably from tomorrow. So let me know.
Did you get on at the post office anyway? I bet they were loving you coming through the door with all them mugs.
Well, I'd already paid for them because I paid for them online and printed off the shipping labels at home. So all I did was take the bag in for them to scan through and put in the bag. So it was they were great actually. I know them in there anyway. So it's a village post office and they were really helpful. They were today. They were a little bit annoyed with the lady who was on the counter yesterday and didn't tell me about the custom stickers, but we'll see what happens. John says, can't believe Baguette Techie has pulled his cheese string. Mark says, happy birthday, Danielle. Hope you had a fantastic day. Evening all, sat listening, says Jock. Gary Scott Wishart, thank you for a £5 super chat, mate. Really kind. He says, hi all, great to see you all and Danielle. Any reason why we cannot personalize the shirts and no shirt showing back of it? I have seen the back of it. However, there has been a problem today because certain people have posted that they have had an email back from Castore saying that unfortunately they've been refunded because they don't have enough stock. Now this is pretty crappy if you ask me. This is very unprofessional considering Castore are trying to establish themselves. No, I don't.
I bought some shirts and they get on like in the sales. Buy one get one for whatever. And then they didn't have it in stock, so they refunded us. Then refunded us nothing. That was on the email, refund 0, and I was like, "What is happening, Castore?"
They've made a big balls up because and people have actually screenshotted the email that they've got from Castore, so and playing hell because this. What were they expecting? The club has been taken over. It's coming into a new season. The fan base is really up and enthusiastic again. Of course, they were going to sell a lot of replica shirts, and to come out with a statement like that saying we've refunded your money because we haven't got enough stock. I mean, luckily I ordered on the first day, so but people have been ordering since. Have now got these emails saying we're refunding you.
It's amateur.
I think it's disgraceful.
That's what it is. It's amateur. That's what it is, isn't it?
I'm getting really bored of receiving emails about Rangers stuff as well.
I know.
I don't care about Rangers. Like the club staff were so nice, and I put my email in for the iPad and everything, and that was lovely. But stop sending me Rangers information. I really don't care. It's going to make me unsubscribe, and then I'm possibly going to miss out on something I might have actually bought because I'm petty, as you keep pushing Scottish football on me. Like, it's very unprofessional.
It's terrible. They need to get their act together.
We're a first-class club now. We're being linked with a third-class company. And
I don't think the owners will be happy with what's happened there.
Not. Absolutely not.
Because anything that affects the fan base, they'll come down hard on them. And I just hope they go back to, Adidas or whoever it may be in the future, because I'm sick of them. I really am. The tops are horrible. The material they use is rotten. And, they've put the embroidered badge back on the normal replica shirt now, which is good. And of course, they've put the normal stick on one on the pro shirt because obviously that apparently stops nipple rub or, when you get the old chafing. Yeah, so apparently it stops that. Greetings from Norway. One question: why does it take so long for Newcastle to get players in every transfer window? I'm sick of it.
Well, it could be 14 years.
Well, hang on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the transfer window hasn't even been open for 24 hours yet.
20 hours, 24 minutes.
Opens on June the 10th. Today is June the 10th. It's fine, guys. Absolutely fine.
Let's just chill the hell out here. You know what I mean? Honestly. God, I don't know what people were really expecting today. Just sort of getting up like Christmas morning. Oh, look who we've signed. Cesare says we need to calm down with the Botman frustration. It's day one and we've already locked down Target. Patience. Absolutely, Ches. Big Dan Burn and Botman, both left-footed centre-back. So does that mean Botman takes Dan Burn's space?
Not immediately.
No, but I think one thing, if we get plenty players in, is that we will have a rotation in next season, which we haven't had for a long time.
That would be nice.
Yeah, but it's to a point where we can rotate with players who are just as good as each other. So we're not bringing on the likes of, Botman's
going to have to play well to start ahead of Burn, which is great competition. Yeah. They're both going to be, it's very good for both of us because we've got a competent left back now. It's not a case of, imagine if we'd have signed him alone in January, he would have been just the man. Whereas now he's got somebody who's very efficient and proficient in front of him as kind of a mentor. So it's very good.
Yeah. Michael says here, anyone else think there are supply chain issues with Castore right now? Apparently folks having orders cancelled. Strange Target wasn't pictured in a shirt for his unveiling. That's a good point, actually.
A very good point.
But yeah, we've just been talking about that, obviously, and I think it's absolutely rank bad. Rank bad.
What else I think is disgusting? Go on the NUFC shop website now, and they're still on sale, all sizes. Absolutely disgusting. Like, what on earth? If you can't meet your orders, I mean, God knows what the shop's going to look like.
Take them off the website, yeah. But people who haven't seen that social media stuff today will, of course, be ordering more shirts, and then they'll get an email 24 hours time saying, "Oh, sorry, we're so stupid, we didn't realize we were going to get such a demand for shirts." Newcastle people talk about a massive club, but we have a massive, massive fan base. Whatever people say, it doesn't matter about being a big club or not. We've got a huge fan base, and whoever has organised this wants they need sacking basically, because
especially if those refunds are taking 7 to 10 days to go back into the accounts. I don't know if that's true
right,
or not.
Billy. Exactly.
Wow.
They're quick to take the money off you, but to give it back,
Damn
and they
right.
always say, "Oh, it's the banking system." Bollocks.
Everybody's given Funny a jip, but at the moment it's Castore with
Absolutely.
balls
missed
and everything
like
up. Absolutely.
bad Instagram posts, social media mistakes, stock mistakes, communication errors, kit, dissatisfaction.
Zero refunds.
Yeah, zero refunds.
But Funny get all the
terrible material that they use. Chi, your dedication to this channel lives on, my friend. Thank you so much. 3 a.m. in Singapore, coffee at the ready. Chi, you are just
that is
magnificent,
dedication.
man. Alvin
Newcastle.
Messenger. Absolutely, Billy. Thank you for your $5 super chat, Alvin. There's no quote there, but thank you very much. Jordan says, good things come to those who wait. Dylan Stevenson has signed a pro contract. Yes, he has. And that's good to see. Hi, guys. I'm gutted not getting Diaby. He could be special. Loving the channel. Thanks, mate. How are you feeling about Diaby, Danielle? Have you seen enough of him, or about him to say whether what he brings to the club?
Obviously, like if we could get him, it would be outstanding. But still, really early days, like Alex said. Like I don't know. I think what the president or whoever said doesn't say that he's not for sale. They just like to keep him. Well, we would say that about our best players, wouldn't we? We'd like to keep them. Yeah. So
in other words, if a huge bid comes in, it's going to be very difficult for somebody like a club like Bayern to hang on to him. But it has to be a decent bid, but not a bid that really takes the piss out of us.
Oh, absolutely. We don't want to go down that road, and we won't. We won't go down that road now that we've got Dan Ashworth. So I'm perfectly confident. I'm ready. I'll wait it out. I'll wait it out till transfer deadline day. We'll see what happens.
Has Amanda been in touch with the checkbook yet?
Not yet. I'm thinking it might be like a postal issue or something. I don't know.
She might be on holiday,
It might turn up with me mug. You never know.
Hey, you never know.
You never know.
She might have Castore doing the posting for her.
Oh God.
We'll wait until next year then, won't we?
Mark Danny say, hey all, would use of any of the Burnley squad that's been let go? Well, Ben Mee is leaving the club. I don't know whether everybody's seen the list of players that have that are not staying. And I highly rate Ben Mee much more than Tarkowski.
Definitely.
What about Ben Mee, Alex? Any, would you be sniffing around?
It's an interesting shout. I mean, is he exactly the same age as?
I think he's 32.
Tarkowski, or is he? I think he might be a year older, isn't he? I mean, it's much of a muchness. It's centre backs who are experienced. It's all about blocks, clears, last man strength, and I mean, I'm having a quick look at his FB ref. I mean, he's making 4 or 5 passes that more than Lascelles does.
I just think he looks a bit more mobile than what Lascelles or Tarkowski is, to be honest.
I agree. He's left-footed as well, actually. So that's a funny one there, because then if we do get Botman, that would be unless we want to play 2 left-footed centre-backs next to each other, which is a bit odd.
Hey,
but
you never know.
He's 32 and quite a lot as well. 260 days into his
the song alone that we could sing to him.
I
Nobody's
don't think
mentioned anything about Cornet, though. I'm staggered because he wasn't on that list, and I think, is he really going to play Championship football next season?
No, definitely not.
No, someone will come in for him, man.
Susan's in the house. Good evening. Susan has made a cartoon of Ian from Toon Trader.
Oh, I've seen that. I've seen the show this afternoon from last night.
She's made it. And I will show it a bit later on in this show because I have it loaded up. I just haven't seen Ian in the chat, so I don't know whether he's busy tonight, but I will show it. Toonman144, thank you very much for your £10 super chat. Got my mug today, thanks to the Toon Review. Well, that's the first one I've heard who's actually received it. Thank you very much for letting me know, and I hope you like it. Good.
I can't wait for that. I can't wait for the post.
Well, it's second class, Danielle, so it might be a couple of days.
All right, I'll wait. Don't you worry, it'll be
I
worth
know.
it.
Hey, people have waited long enough for them. They can wait a couple of days. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Cesare says nobody signed on day one. Lordy, everyone run. The sky is falling.
Oh yeah.
Louis says, sorry I'm late. Did a show earlier with a South African football fan and Chris from Leicester Till I Die. John Sinclair was supposed to be on, but didn't rock up.
No. It's not like John.
Well, it's not, but John's in hiding at the minute because if you remember John's quote on his show, if Botman signs for Newcastle, he'd donate £100 to the food bank, and nobody has forgotten that. So I think he's sweating a little bit at the minute that he's going to be £100 lighter.
Maybe he's doing some overtime.
That's right, but it will go to a good cause. It will go to a good cause. Louis, your mug has been sent. Your shirt that you won will be sent on Monday, mate. I just had to get all the mugs out. I hope that's okay. Or I can drop it off in Washington for you over the weekend if you want. You're not far from me, so let me know either way, mate. How much you want and how quick you wanting it. Michael says, how much is Botman? I saw Aston Villa are linked with him, but the price tag was 27 million. Villa linked with someone we've looked at? Never.
No, something they're getting on my nerves now. Do you know,
thought they might.
The absolute disrespect they showed Matty Targett the other day. Absolutely disgusting. That's apart from the Mackhams and them in Manchester. They're third them. Like, I hate them.
They're starting to get like that. They're starting to get
I'm having a bit of a contretemps with a Villa fan at the moment on Twitter.
Oh, really? Are you?
Well, listen, I mean, we spoke about earlier in the week, you know, the media have made a lot of this and they're trying to create a big rivalry here. But also the Villa fans putting like tweets out like, or sarcastically saying, good luck to Matty Targett. I'll be looking towards the bottom end of the table next season to see how he gets on.
How disgusting. I mean that's like...
Do Villa not remember that we finished above them? You know, just
I think we've
have a
finished
word with
most seasons we've both been together in the Premier League as well. It's not like a one-off thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
As
I pointed out to this Villa fan, we beat them, and as I pointed out to the Villa fan, we've played Champions League football. They've never been close to it.
Exactly. So take your faces for a huge shite, Villa fans. Jimmy Jones is in the house, our resident hammer. Hope you're well, mate. Isn't Eki Teki injured though? He is at the minute. I know it's only June, but for God's sake, we have plenty of time. Exactly, Mark.
Exactly.
Let's just all chill out, enjoy the ride. Basically, just sit on that. It's not a roller coaster anymore. It's one of those nice little like.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
It is, Danielle. That is right. But it's like one of those sky rides that you just sit on, and it just takes you through the sky, nice and slowly over all the magnificent sights of whether it be New York City, Alton Towers, wherever it may be. Just enjoy the ride. Look out the window.
With our owners, a magic carpet ride.
A magic carpet ride, yes. With me and Dad and Amanda steering the carpet, and we're just floating through the air with a gentle breeze through our lack of hair, you know, and just enjoying it. Kev says, good evening, everyone. Always enjoy the show. Thanks, mate. Colin says it's only day one. Rome wasn't built in a day.
I wasn't on that job.
No, I wasn't either, Billy. People need to chill and wait till we get who we're going to get. I mean, we've said this before, Danielle, earlier in the week, but it's basically, you know, we've seen it as Newcastle United and, you know, especially the likes of Eddie Howe, Dan Ashworth and the owners. They'll all know where they stand with players. They're not going to release anything. They're not going to leak anything. We've known that since they took over the club. They run things their way. They'll not be pushed around, but also they'll not be sort of desperately leaking information out until they've got 100% confirmation that a player is coming in.
Absolutely. And this is what I mean about these in the know people and in accounts and whatever. It's adding to the fan base's anxiety. Like it really is. When you're seeing all of these videos, I mean, obviously we've got common sense, so we don't fall for it. But you know, if you're a young fan and you really believe that these people know what they're talking about, and you're like, oh, we're signing Diaby, we're signing Botman, we're signing all of these players, and then it doesn't happen, you start to think, hey, what's going on here? Are we being led down the garden path or what?
Yeah. That is an excellent comment from Andrew. Let's get the signings right, not quick.
Absolutely. Well said.
That says it all.
I mean, the ones that have come through the door quick is for a reason. Like, for example, Kamara, the reason it was done so quickly is because they offered him £200,000 a week. And for context, Lingard was asking for 150 and he's had no bites. So Lingard is a guaranteed goal scorer in the Premier League. He did it at West Ham recently and he's a good player. So if nobody bid for 150k for Lingard, that's why Kamara's gone instantly, because it is an interesting project. Fair enough to Villa, but it's 200 grand a week, and there's probably clauses in there that if they don't achieve expectations, he can probably go. Of course, that's going to be.
Well, the wages Villa are already paying are extortionate right now already with the signings they've already made.
And what we're not doing that they're throwing money at to try and beat players who are linked with Europa League, Champions League clubs. They're just throwing money at it. And we're trying not to do that. And we're trying to keep our wage budget intact and sort of keep to our 100, 120, 140,000 a week for big signings.
Yeah.
And which is why it's taking longer. Because we're refusing to just throw 200 grand a week at people just to make them choose us. We want them to choose us for the right reasons, not just because we've got the fattest checkbook.
Stu says, evening, Mrs. Toon Review. I think my cup may have been delivered today. I missed the post. Your parcel was left next door. Stu, it ain't your mug because it went out today, buddy.
You've got another parcel that you don't know about. How
exactly.
Exciting.
I hope it's not the vibrator that you ordered, Stu.
Wow.
But or it's not shaped in any strange form. But it's on its way, mate. Next few business days, yours will arrive. Diaby will leave once an acceptable bid is received. Leon said exactly the same about Bruno, and 2 weeks later, he was a Toon player.
Correct.
Ryan says, Paqueta after Botman. Yes, I think so too. Keeping Fun 88 as sponsor has sure... Oh, you'll have to leave us in limbo with that one because rumour has it that Tottenham are sniffing around Paqueta. Yeah, I heard that today. Paul says we are totally free professional. We are totally free professional now. We're not rushing in, keeping everything as quiet as possible. No doubt we will probably get surprise signings. Everton paid £82 million for Delph, Sigurdsson and Czech Tossen, and all left for free. Well, says a lot about Everton and the way they're running. Jacques says, I'm still buzzing over Target. I think we need to calm down with big names. It's our first summer transfer window, and it's a long road ahead. It is a very, very long road ahead.
Once we get into Europe, though, once we get into Europe in a few seasons, however long that may take, and we start getting into, the Europa League and then maybe the Champions League, that's when the big players are starting to get interested. So it'll get a lot easier for us at that stage. But, it is a rebuild, so we just need to continue improving, continue getting better players than we have now, and getting further up the table, closer and closer. That's what it's all about. I'm willing to wait.
Yep. Guys, over 900 watching at the minute. Thank you so much for a Friday night. Incredible. If you're new to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when we upload or go live. You can also become a member of the Toon Review if you hit the join button as well. Lots of prize giveaways for our members. And also, if you'd like to donate to the channel like so many wonderful people have already done tonight, you can hit that $sign at the bottom of the live comments and that'll take you through that way. It will also get your comment read out straight away. And also, people have been asking about the mugs. This is where you can find them, guys.
So let's get down to business. I've been waiting, think I wanna make that move now. Baby, tell me if you like it. Tell me if you like it now. I've been waiting, think I wanna make that move now. Baby, tell me how you like it. Let's get down to business.
So there you go, everybody. The toonreview.co.uk. You'll be able to find all the mugs on there. Choose one if you like, and you can even have it personalized. If you do want a personalized mug, then make sure that you view your cart before you go into the checkout. And there's a special box in there which you can put the name of what you want on the mug. So make sure you view the cart if you're getting a personalized mug, just so we know what name you want on there. So that is it. The toonreview.co.uk. Get them now. More merch is coming very soon, by the way, as well. Dave says, surely keeping Fun 88 as sponsor this season has hampered our transfers. Maybe next season when we spend big. I don't think it'll hamper any transfers who's on the front of our shirt, to be honest. If we were getting a lot of Muslim players in, maybe, but...
I think he's talking more on the FFP side.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Yeah, with Cisse, Tiote, and Demba Ba playing with Wonga on the front. I don't think we've done that before. To be fair,
yeah. Mind you, there was Cisse was not happy, was he, about doing that? He wanted to play in a shirt with no sponsor on the front, if I recall. Munch says, "I've deleted Twitter today. Already sick of so-called in the know accounts." Yeah,
Well
you'll not find any of
done.
that here, mate. Michael says, what I find odd is how mad folks get with the in the nose. The level of abuse in the direction of certain accounts is way out of order. If you start believing everything you read, the problem is more with you, in my opinion. Yeah, but Michael, I understand what you're saying there.
I don't know. I think
there is a lot of people that use social media to find out and try and get a lot of good sources and good names coming to the club. And sometimes people saying, "Oh, it's imminent" or whatever, and it hasn't happened. And people were saying, "Oh, it's definitely not Fun 88. It's definitely not Fun 88 sponsoring us." Overnight, it's then Fun 88. So
there's nothing
you've got to
going
take it with a
on
pinch
right
of salt.
now
But
anyway.
listen, if you like reading it and you're excited by it, then fine. It's not a problem. It's just sometimes it works the opposite way. Gary, thanks for another £5 super chat. He says, Danielle, the Messiah, your chat was spot on. We need to be patient and wait, although we are all hungry for information. Yeah, we are. Lee says, thanks. It was a renewal. Thank you, buddy. Internationals have added extra tension to the transfers. Oh, I know. It really
There's nothing happening at the moment. Because agents are flying around to different places. There's internationals on. There's so much random stuff that's been recycled today in the media as well. There's been articles. There's a bunch of articles about Sangare again, which is just recycling his interview that he did in May about that he would love to play in the Premier League, as well as Sarr and the Trossard interview when they beat Man United. They're recycling content, and then Peter O'Rourke's come out today and suggested we might get a right back for cover, which is the weirdest shout I've ever heard.
Yeah.
How many do we need to cover? We've got 3.
I'm a bit confused by that one, but it's just random stuff coming out from journalists because literally nothing's moving at the moment. Everything that we know is moving. We all know about. But
behind the scenes, things could be a lot more down the line than anybody knows about. So we just don't know.
These are professional people. Like the owners are very professional. They do things the right way and the way it should be done.
Absolutely.
So I trust them.
Keith, thank you for a $20 super chat out there in the States, matey. Don't spend it all in one place. Annie actually brings something up which I found astounding today. The Fulham have had a bid for £15 million accepted for Ben Rama. 15
I didn't know
million
about
quid.
that.
Good bit of business if Carrick pull that off because he's a good player.
Isn't it just? Hamza Chowdhury is now signed from Leicester. His name never goes away at the minute.
Nah.
Dan Ashworth and Howe will already know which targets they want in. Of course they will. And Dan Ashworth will have known about targets before he started the job officially. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Right, Alex, you got a player ready, and it is Lucas Paqueta.
So a lot of them are going to be Premier League, and I would ignore this line at the open tabs. That's not necessarily who we're looking at. I've got him back on the screen purely because of this takeover for Leon or the biggest shareholder, whatever we're going to call it. Distraction. He wants to leave, and there's new reports suggesting that they're quite happy for him and others to leave because they're going to restructure. They need a bit of a shift. They got Ndombele on loan. It didn't work. He's gone back to Tottenham. They've got holes to fill. They never filled the Bruno hole. They got a youngster in. Well, a younger, can't remember his name. Is it somebody? So it looks like he is pretty dead certain to leave Leon. It just depends on, where's he going to go. But purely because of everything people already know with the Friends connection, it could be us. It could be us. So I want to look at him specifically because there's so many people out there saying, oh, do we just want to sign him because it's Bruno's mate? Is he actually good enough? Yes, absolutely yes, and a million times yes. Played 2,700 minutes in Liga and in the Europa League. Contributed so much, like bonkers amounts. He should have had 11 goals, not 9.
Yeah.
So left-footed attacking midfielder would probably play where Willock plays now on the right of a 3, or a little bit further forward. He can drift wide as well. And to be completely honest, it doesn't matter what button I press. If he's an attacking midfielder, a forward, or a midfielder, it doesn't matter.
Lots of green grass at home there.
He's a very good footballer. He's just a very good footballer. 3 years remaining on his contract, which is the reason why the quoted prices are also high, because he's so good. That's literally what. It's not Leon being annoying. He is very, very good. He's doing it for Brazil as well. So this is not a flash in the pan at all. So I tried to find negatives because people are trying to be negative. So I thought I'd have a go. He mainly passes with his right foot, with his left foot, sorry, because he's left-footed.
Shocking. Terrible. Wow.
So, I mean, as an opposition team, they might look at try and close down his strong foot as a passing option, but I'm sure he's talented enough to get.
We don't want any of that left-footed business, do we?
He gets dribbled past once per game, and his interceptions aren't super high, but his tackles are very, very high, as you can see here. So he's tackling a lot, so it kind of makes up for that anyway. So one thing that is noticeable if we go on the scout report is basically he releases the ball very, very early in his build-up. So if you go on pass types, if we go down, where am I going for specifically? And if I can find it, there we go. So this is it. This is it. Possession. So upon trying to find out where he's not very good, this isn't even that. So essentially, carries into the final third, carries into the penalty area, progressive carries. He doesn't tend to. He tends to release the ball early. He picks it up in midfield. He drives a little bit, and then he would release somebody, i.e., Wilson or a winger. So he won't hold on to the ball for too long. Once he's got the ball, he's beat his man, he's tackled. He releases. He lets play happen, which is why his key passes are only 1.4 per 90. And I think the reason why that is because he just releases play so early. He just plays players through. It's not even a negative. It's just a result of how they play and how he plays.
He's a beast. Let's put it that way. He'd be a fantastic signing.
I mean, pressures as well. He does more than Willock and Longstaff. It's just he's really absolutely immense. So he is more than good enough for our squad. I mean, controversial one here. If you guys are excited by Bruno, this guy is arguably better on the ball. So
what you're saying is, if we do sign him, we're going to have a Toon review buffet. Is that what you're saying, Alex? Because I'm on board.
Yeah,
he's basically if you put more attack in Bruno, and if that's even possible, he is immense. So
Geordie Will, thank you for becoming a new member or a renewal. I'm not sure which one it is, but thank you very much and welcome to the family. George, thank you for your £10 super chat, bud. He says, thank you, Alex, for the info about Paqueta. I was one of those concerned that he was just a mate of Bruno's. Very impressed with the stats you've shown.
3 shots per game as well.
Exactly. Your mugs have been sent today as well, George, so they should be with you soon, bud. Michael says, hi, everyone. I've just pre-ordered the new home kit for next season.
Good luck.
Michael, I would check your inbox over the weekend, mate. Stotty55, thank you for your £4.49 super sticker, buddy. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Apparently Newcastle may be heading to Australia for pre-season. Which when you think about it, I mean, I know it's a long flight, but when you think about it, it's their winter. Our summer. So the weather's not as hot as it normally is. And it might not be a bad idea.
Don't you have to go to Newcastle in Australia?
Yes, home of the Newcastle Jets FC. That would be an interesting friendly, wouldn't it? Newcastle against Newcastle. Good afternoon, Wagner. Hope you're well out there in Brasilia. Great show. Stu says, tell these players to hurry up and sign, and they could be here for the opening night of the Hoppins. I'm sure that's a selling point to them, Stu, mate. I'm sure that's what Dan Ashworth will be saying. Hey, get yourselves in now and you'll get to see the Hoppins.
Yeah, there's a food village this year.
There is. Yes, so I've read. Yeah. Wagner says a statement signing at centre-back and right wing would already vastly improve the team. Now, I've seen a few comments going on in here, Billy, that the first signing is going to be the marquee signing for the summer. What do you reckon?
Depends who's available at the time, I guess. I mean, who knows and who to say what a statement sign is until we've seen him play over a season. 6-2-3 to me. Could be either way.
Yeah. Michael Marsden, good evening, matey. Hope you're well. Colin says his nipple tassels are twisting at that score that we read out before. Take the Fun 88 off the jersey is absolute class. patient, everybody. They will come. Got me mug, Paul. It's mint. Oh, cheers, Alan. Thanks for letting us know, buddy. They're obviously arriving on doorsteps. Love the green and white. Also, can't wait. Has anybody heard when that's getting announced? Because I haven't heard anything about that getting released yet.
No, I'm not pre-ordering it though. No chance.
Well, if you pre-order it quickly, Danielle, you'll be.
No, what I'll do, I'll get my tent, right? And I'll do a
Mhm.
Toon review live stream from the club shop, right? I'll sleep outside, go and get my shirt. Tell you, I'm not putting nothing online. No way.
Yeah. Ekiteke's injury. The report on his injury from January was that his badly torn hamstring, 10-centimeter laceration, and out for 3 months. That takes a lot of coming back from, especially at a young age.
Is it the same? Is it the same side though this time?
Yeah, well, it was heavily strapped up as well, Danielle.
It
was.
Oh
God, he had lots of tape on it, and he had tape on his left leg as well.
To be honest, Paul, I heard you shouting because I had you on yesterday in the living room when we were doing tea, and I heard the "oh no" from the living room.
Somebody made a gif up for Alex as soon as Alex he just went, "Oh God!" He turned away from the camera, and somebody made a gif of it. It was brilliant.
We had 3 stages side it first, and Alex got it second, and you had it third. It was
yeah, you can hear me say, "Oh no!" Billy was giggling at my "oh no," and then then you caught up as well. It was
because everyone was like, "You were in front, Billy, Alex in the middle," and it was sort of 3 times over. You got injured. Horrible. Danny says, Paul, I don't think there is a white and green one because PIF won't have Fun 88 in Saudi. It's against their laws. Yeah, it is going to be the strip.
Saudi about the sponsorship though.
Yeah, they can sell it without any sponsors on the front.
Yeah, so there will be.
Yeah, of course they will. Spurs are after Ericsson again. Yep, yeah. I thought that was a great point. Danielle, spot on. Well, I don't know because he left in a bit of a.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't leave on great terms, did he? Because he was. I don't think. But listen, I mean, if he wants to go back to Tottenham, it makes sense. And he's played under Conte before, of course.
I don't know. Milan. Get Dan Ashworth on the case. You never know. You never know.
Well, if reports are believed that he's having conversations this coming Monday with the club.
Interesting.
Dan says the main issue with the sponsor is the fact that it's the least lucrative deal in the league. Well, of course it is, because bloody Ashley did it, didn't he?
Yeah, of course he did the cheapskate.
Of course he did. Trippier and Rice visited the Lionesses today. Yeah, I've seen that. It was really good of them. Apologies if it's already been said. I've heard Sterling could be leaving City this summer, which begs the question, Newcastle.
He's going to Chelsea, isn't he? That's what I've heard.
Yeah, listen, I mean, Chelsea seems a good one for him. Obviously the new owners at Chelsea will be obviously wanting to kick off the ground running and get everything sorted very quickly just to put the fans at rest.
If I was Sterling, I'd just go abroad. Like, he's won everything here. What's the point? Because unless you're going to join a project like us or Villa or something, what's the point? Because you're just going to another club to do the same stuff again. Well, it's not going to challenge him professionally. It's the same thing, isn't it? So,
yeah, of course it is.
I'd just go abroad if I was Sterling. I would be very confused by that move. It would reinforce everybody's critique about he's a money grabber, which I'm sure he doesn't like or want. If he just sidesteps into a similar team, like in the same league, he's won everything. He's won so much here. What's the point?
Charles says, no, thank you for my super chat. I haven't seen a super chat from you, Charles. I don't know whether it didn't show up at the top. I'm sorry. And obviously the comments skip now and again. I do apologize, but thank you. Ryan says he's not fussed about Fun 88. It's more that it's Castorian, not Nike or Adidas.
I agree, Ryan.
I think that's a lot of people think
they're just not capable, are they? They're just not capable, and that's what it comes down to.
Well, I mean, this has been a disaster, hasn't it? I mean, let's face it. They announced it a week early, and then took the tweet down because it wasn't happening. They put that it was, going ahead, and then they had to take the whole thing down on Instagram because they messed it up. And then, of course, now people are ordering, and like you said, Danielle, they're still on the website to pre-order. Yet all the people that are ordering now are getting emails back from Castoria saying they've got no stock. I mean, it's bizarre. It really is. Thomas says, he appreciates it, Trolls. Yes, I do, Trolls. Yes, I do. Toon Man says he got his mug today. Thanks. Great stuff. Nice to know they're arriving. Michael says, Paul, I love the rant about Steve Bruce you done. Well,
That's
you know,
class.
but if there's one man turns me inside out, it's Steve Bruce. And you know what? People saying, "Oh, leave it, just ignore it." No, I bloody won't. Think people just want everything instantly in regards to Saudi sponsors. We've only been on for 8 months. Things will take time. Another year won't hurt us, and they have been good to the fans, as you say. Stato got picture of his rock eyebrow. Okay. Fair enough. Good evening, Nicholas. Hope you're well. And he's not the son of Mike Dean, as he keeps telling us. Steve says, Saudi go over to Bahrain every weekend, drinking, gambling, and going with the ladies of the night. Okay. Paul, PIF 2030 is for them to make $3 trillion for the Saudi PIF. I watched our owner's interview for PIF. Matthew says, just me who thinks we will still get Eki Teki despite a risky injury. They've run out of polyester, apparently, says Ryan. Oh, dear. Right, next player is Leandro Trossard from Brighton.
Yeah, so he's been linked a couple of times. It's an interesting one. Premier League player. He's had a couple of smaller injuries. I'm not sure if he played when he played against us. I know we had Kukureya trialing as a little funny centre back, the guy with the funny hair. So he's only got 1 year left on his contract, Mr. Trossard, and he is rather good. Playing as kind of a left wing back that doesn't do the back bit because Cucurella's really good. So he just kind of is a left wing. He's a wing back in all but name. He's not there. He just goes forward. And he's pretty bonkers in terms of versatility. He's just so efficient. He's so efficient. 32 starts. He's been in 3 Team of the Weeks. 2.3 shots per 90. He's got a crazy long pass completion percentage as well. And he's just very good at. We talk about attempted dribbles and pressures, but this guy is really good at doing successful pressures and successful dribbles. Mm-hmm. He's in the 96th and 99th percentile for successful pressures and successful dribbles. So when he does things, he's really good at them. He doesn't just try a lot of flashy stuff, whether it's tackling or movement. When he does it properly and he completes it. He's got a high amount of touches in the attack and penalty area. You know, he carries the ball well. He does a lot of switches. He's very good at switching the play to the opposite side, which is a neat little thing that Howe's tried to put into our game. And he's been so good recently. So good. He came off the bench, replaced Hazard against Poland. So he came on at 66 minutes and scored 2 goals. And recently in the league against Arsenal, a goal. Against Tottenham, 2 key passes and a goal. Southampton, key pass. Wolves, a goal, 2 shots, 2 key passes. Man United, a goal and 2 assists with 4 key passes. Like he's putting up numbers against good teams. Wolves are strong. You know, Tottenham, Arsenal. He's a beast. He's very creative as well. He's very technically good. But he's 27. He's very refined and polished. I haven't scrolled down yet as well. I do apologize. So this kind of does him a little bit dirty. His stats aren't outrageously like spiky green like we like. But he's just very good at what his job is, which just screams Graham Potter. Great, if I can say his name, Graham Potter and Brighton. They know their job. They've got specific jobs, which is why a lot of their players don't spike everywhere because they've got a job to do. But it's Maxi's position. But
how many players have we put up lately that have been Maxi's position?
I mean, if I bring up his sofa score, hang on, where's Premier League? Make sure it says Premier League. I mean, this is where he can apparently play, which is very versatile. Yeah. But there's been a few games where he's played as a 10, kind of just behind the 2 strikers. So he is used in kind of this role, but it's generally sort of left wing back that doesn't go back because he doesn't need to. Yeah, really good player. Cracking shout, 1 year left, so he wouldn't be super expensive. But again, it's on the left side, and we've got Maxi and would potentially like to integrate Elliot Anderson as well, maybe. So I don't know. I really like him as a player, but I don't know if we could or should sign him. Maybe.
Well, he's certainly a possibility. But again, so many players that we've been linked with are in Maxi's position. It's mental. Paul says, I like the kit. I'd just rather have a stitched Newcastle crest instead of a stuck-on one. Well, they are.
That's what you get.
They are stitched this season. So there you go. Dan says, Fun 88 is about £6.7 million a year, whereas Man United get about 40 and maybe double that next season. Yeah, there is definitely...
Our time will come.
It will. Ricky says it's an away shirt and it's nice, but we are black and white. That will always be our identity, not green and white. Indeed. It's not available until the 4th of July. It was on the website. They're not doing it till the 4th. I wouldn't believe anything that the website says at the minute, quite frankly.
How can they not have stock now, though? They're saying they're not going to have the stock for the 4th of July. It's the 10th of June.
Mental. Absolutely mental. Paul says, why refund? Simply order more shirts and make them. Crap company who will likely not be around this season after next. Well, listen, they're doing themselves no favours at the minute.
No.
It's been a couple of weeks of really bad press for them with regards to Newcastle United. Chi says, a belated happy birthday, Danielle.
Thank you.
Castoria were no help at all when I made inquiries.
No,
I've heard a few people say that the customer service is terrible.
Shocking.
You said that earlier, Danielle, as well.
The refund of nothing. Like, what's that about? I don't think so, hun. Like, that'll be getting picked up on later. But yeah, even in the shops, I just, I understand. Like, I was at the Metro Centre on Tuesday. I don't know if anyone's been into the store in the Metro Centre, but it was just very little Newcastle United stuff. Very little. It was just all like...
But wasn't that the point? They made a big rigmarole about opening in the Metro Centre.
I don't know whether they're just getting rid of stock or whatever. I don't know, but it was all like Ferrari stuff, and it was just very strange. Jesus. No, I don't like it.
Have you seen who's been appointed Blackburn manager, by the way?
No.
Jean Dahl Thomason.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, bless him.
John's just confirmed it there, but yeah. Very interesting. And Annie's happy because Andreas Wehmann has scored for Austria, and of course he plays for Bristol City.
He's going to score eventually.
You get them working overtime, stitching new tops together. Well, I mean, where do they come from? Who makes these? I mean, are we talking about 4-year-old children in China making them, or do they have actually? Is it properly done? I don't know.
Can tell you.
Paul, I got an email from Castoria for the pre-order, and it did state printing not till July the 4th. Yeah, look, if that's the home top, though, Danny, what is the problem? Why can't people pre-order? Why are they getting refunded?
Very late, considering certain Premier League clubs played the final game of the season in their new kits, and we're in this position.
We always used to do that, didn't we? When we had the likes of Adidas and Puma, whatever. We always played the last game with the new
we need
kit.
to sack them off, in my opinion. Sack them off as soon as we can.
Yeah. Matthew says next season I think we'll have a new sponsor, and we will have a new sponsor, definitely. Totally agree. Adidas for me, best by a mile.
Remember the days when you used to get like free stuff with your shirt?
Yeah.
You used to get like a free bag, or you used to get a football or whatever. Well, class days in mind when you were young. Oh.
Louis likes the Castoria tops. Well, you would be the most depressed man on the planet. It's not going to, something has to make you happy. Castoria is only used because Andy Murray owns 30% of them. Yeah, there's something not right with that. It's very fishy. Geordie Metal, thank you for your £20 super chat. Very kind, my friend. Trossard would be a good signing, and he's very versatile, could play anywhere along the front line. And Rickard Anderson, thank you again, 50 Swedish krona. Thank you for your continued donations to the channel, matey. 5 subs next season, but will the bench increase as well, or will it still be at 9? I think it's staying at 9. I don't think they're going to increase the bench any further. Christ, they'll end up having rows of seats behind the bloody dugout.
Imagine.
John wants to know if Newcastle will go for Osimhen now that Arsenal have pulled out. He hasn't. I've never seen any direct links with him, so I'm not sure. Andy wants to know what you're drinking, Billy.
I want Coke Zero tonight. Other soft drinks are available.
But Coca-Cola, we are giving you a shout out. People panicking about lack of signings at this stage are crazy. Raised expectations kicking in already. Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea have signed nobody. Well, not many people have. I mean, there's a few signings took place, but not. It's not. standing out. Good evening, guys. I want to say that Sven Botman is a Newcastle United player, and there is interest on the striker Gianluca Scamacca. We've mentioned him before, haven't we? But Botman isn't a Newcastle United player until he's holding the shirt. That is when we will officially announce on the channel that players have signed.
A lot of people keep reporting that his agent's flying in. It does look likely that it's his agent because it was a plane that went from Paris to Milan and then back to Paris, now to us. It looks likely.
Not go from Paris to Berlin. You remember that one? From Paris to Berlin and every disco I was in.
But the fact that the agent's coming over doesn't mean it's done. Like it's good news.
Well, of course it doesn't.
But it doesn't mean anything's done necessarily.
Crazy.
If it was done, the agent wouldn't be flying over, would he?
Yep. Ekiteke's injury, international duty, kit cock-ups equals Newcastleness. It should be hashtag Newcastleness, Dave, without a doubt. Dean says Castoria is synonymous of Ashley. Crap. Is Castoria just some gadgy printing shirts in his garage?
Probably.
Stato is Roger Ibanez, right-footed. Can't find bio anywhere about it.
Hang on.
Ryan says much rather Botman than the Indica guy. Paul Gallant, good evening to you. Hope you're well, buddy. Suave says Danielle is here in capitals because he was asking after you the other day. Danielle, very disappointed you weren't on. I think he is absolutely your number one fan. There is no doubt about it.
Fan club is definitely.
There was lots of comments from him the other night, or her. I'm not sure whether Suave is a he or her, but there was lots of comments from that particular person. Very upset that you weren't on the other night, Danielle. So, yeah. Colin says, I've been a Newcastle fan since the 80s and never been this excited since Bobby Robson's era. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's fine to be excited. Of course it is. And that's what we like. This is why we're doing these shows, because, it's exciting to talk about these players that are linked. But whether they're signed for us or not is a completely different kettle of fish. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure I've ever had a kettle of fish, though. I mean, who came up with that? Very strange. Paul says, a barge pole.
What's a barge pole?
A barge pole, yeah. I mean, certain things could be used as barge poles, I suppose. Susan! Paul says, onwards to 12K, Paul and crew. I love trying to embarrass her. Some people are ridiculously impatient, complaining about a lack of transfers in the middle of June.
No, man.
We won't know about Diaby until we officially put in a bid. Yeah, test them.
Exactly.
I mean, some people have said bids have gone in already, but whether that's the case, we don't know. Christopher Hudson, thank you for your £5 super chat. Really appreciate that. Love the show, people. Gives me something to look forward to when I'm knee-deep in crap at graft all day. Do you do drains? Is that why you're in knee-deep of crap? Do you hasn't the tennis player Andy Murray not got a stake in Castori? He has. But they're not exactly shining with any brilliance at the moment. Carl says the fun it isn't a problem. It's that we will have 3 new home shirts in 3 years. Yeah, but every club now brings a new shirt out every year. Yeah. Every single season we bring a new shirt out. Even the lower teams do that. Everybody brings a new kit out now every season. It didn't used to be like that, but it's been like that for as long as I can remember back now.
The Grandad shirt was the last one. I think we had 2 years in the trot.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, Billy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Adidas one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I really like that. Mm-hmm. Trev says he's seen a private jet over South Shields around 6 p.m. Looks like it flew in from France. Botman's agent, question marks. I love that. He just looks at the plane and thinks, it looks like it came from France. Brilliant. William says, anybody been in the Metro Centre Castoria shop? It's pathetic for NUFC merchandise. Yeah. Castoria is owned by 2 Liverpudlians, apparently. Oh, God. There you go. Dan says that Roger Fernandez lad looks like a smart investment, or 16 and already being compared to Maxi on the right.
Yeah. I've not seen anything of him, so I'll have to have a look. We looked at him briefly, but there's not much out there when you're viewing 16-year-olds and stuff and youth players. This is what real scouts do when they have access to far more in-depth data.
Yeah. And you can bet your bottom dollar that Mr. Ashworth will have a huge black book of contacts that he will be putting together. Kendo says, have we not signed Mbappe and Messi yet?
Maybe it's Monday.
Possibly Monday, yeah. Botman or not, looks like a new centre-back will be bought. What do you think of the chances of selling Fernandez, Clark and Lascelles and promoting Watts to fourth centre-back? I'm interested what will happen with Kel Watts, actually, because I remember him playing... Did he play against Liverpool in one of the last games of the season under Bruce about a year ago when he came back from Plymouth? And he played the last game,
and then he wasn't
or
seen
came on a sub. And then he went back out to Wigan, didn't he? So I think it'll be interesting for Eddie Howe to have a look at certainly the likes of him and Elliot Anderson, etc., over the pre-season. And I think that's what he'll do. So interesting what might happen with him.
And there's rumours flying around. There's rumours flying around that Forest have put a £10 million bid in for Lascelles. Rumours.
Yeah, that's actually come from Forest as well. Forest fans, so close to the club. So. Listen, it seems like a no-brainer for me for Lascelles to go there, and continue his career.
Price, to be fair.
It isn't. It's a good price, and I think, I'd snap the hands off for 10 million quid. Geordie Will, thanks for another £5 super chat, mate. Really kind. He says, long-time viewer, but new member. Rather watch your shows than normal telly. How are the lads? Thanks very much, mate. And Adam Craddock, thank you very much for your £5 super chat as well. There isn't any comment there, but really appreciate that, buddy. Right, next player up, we have Ismaila Sarr.
Yes, we have Mr. Watford winger, who we've been heavily linked with on and off and on and off and on and off. Obviously, because the whole Diaby thing is up in the air, his name keeps being brandished about, but the price is still like 40 odd million that's been quoted, like 30 to 40, which just seems bonkers when you consider his output as well. And if we have a look at his actual stats, I had a proper dig into this, and he's efficient at crossing to a level. This could be just a result of playing a very poor Watford side as well. It does hurt your stats a lot, but there's nothing crazy standoutish for me. He's energetic. He is okay at carrying the ball and dribbling. He can cross, but he's just a fairly talented right winger. And he was out in December, and he had a big hoo-ha about the Africa Cup of Nations. Was he going to go or not go? It was all funny on social media. There was lots of arguments about that with Watford fans and stuff. 5 goals from 3.5 non-penalty XG, nearly 1,900 minutes as well. Only 22 appearances, not all starts. I'm very on the fence about this one. He's the positives are he's 24. He's sort of 11 stone, 5'11". So he's the right body type, build. He's got the physicals, the technicals. So it's the kind of player that you'd think Eddie Howe could work with and get a lot more out of. Because I can't imagine he's been developed very well at Watford with everything that's gone on with the managerial changes. It's probably been very mishmash at Watford. So maybe we can get a lot more out of him in our setup.
Yeah.
But it's a funny one because, again, Miggy's agents come out today saying things. He's come out and said he's at the best club in the world. He's happy with prominence. I don't see any possibility of change now. Newcastle are going to change everything, structure, youth, women's soccer, etc. So his agents come out and said that. I feel like if we're going to sign a right winger, we've got to sign a right winger who is a lot better than who's challenging. And I think Sarr is better than Almiron, but he's not acres better. He's just better. So it not for 40 million. I think 40 million is far too much. I would, if they offered a reasonable price, if he was offered out at somewhere closer to 20, yes, because he's workable and he could be very good for us. But double that is pretty bonkers. And shout out to Miggy for getting 2 goals as well for Paraguay.
2 goals again,
Good goals as well. He's doing similar to the Palace in terms of opening his body up, nice left-footed curls. Miggy's doing all right.
But he always does for Paraguay. He always does.
Oh, he's had a bit of a shocker recently, though.
Well, I know, but he certainly plays better for Paraguay than he does for us. But I still don't think we've seen the real Miggy for us. I really don't.
Yeah, well, I don't know what you guys think of Sarr. I think he's a great player, but I just think 40 million
it's a lot of money.
And the right wing situation is a bit.
Yeah, I would probably look at 25, 30 million for him. 40 is a bit of a stretch.
Considering the money that we're offering for centre backs, if the Ekitike deal goes through as well, so what? That's 30, 35 million. Botman's 30, 40 targets, 12 to 15 plus the loan, and this as well. You start looking. We're starting to creep well over 100 again, 100 million. Yeah. We've also got to shift players. Yeah. If we're spending 40, I'd just go pay 55 and get DRB.
A couple of points. I'd make about.
If we're going to go that high, go and get somebody much better. If we're going to put that much down.
Absolutely, of course.
Go on, Billy.
Well, first things first. He's played 2 seasons in the Premiership. He's looked good on occasion in both of those seasons. Obviously, there's been no consistency there because of the quality of the side he's been in. But on his day, he's absolutely unstoppable. And loyalty-wise, when they got relegated the first season, he stayed with them and got them back up. Helped get them back up. Didn't run away as soon, and he could have done. I mean, lots of players do. He stayed with Watford, and they were promoted. And again, the same kind of season last season as what had his first season. On his day, this lad is unstoppable, but it's when you get those days. But whether that would increase with a higher quality of player, who knows?
It's just expensive.
It's certainly an option. It's definitely an option.
When you scale like how much Villa got Coutinho for, and how much this guy's going to cost, it's it's a lot.
Yeah. I don't think they'll get 40 million for him, and I think he will leave this summer. I think he'll go for something like half that. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
Warren Orton's just sent us a picture of his mug that arrived today. He says, "Hi Paul, hope you're well, keeping well. Got my mug delivered today. Absolutely love it." And sent us a picture of it on his kitchen bench in front of the kettle.
Get him on Twitter. #Toon Review. Let's have him on Twitter.
Yeah. If you guys are on Twitter and you get your mugs, if you do, just put put them on social media and with a hashtag of the Toon Review, and we'll get them going. Definitely. Good point, Billy. Good point indeed. Chi says the biggest sports store in Singapore said they have no idea when Castoria is shipping the jerseys as they're unable to give a date. Bloody unprofessional. Puma and Adidas used to be in the first week. Well, that says it all.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
not a good look from the side of the owners as well. They're not going to want to be associated with this.
Yeah. Logan Lee says, how do we get a mug? thetoonreview.co.uk. Head straight there and you will see them and just pick us whichever ones you like. Troll says, the earlier we get the players, the faster we can get them up to speed for how the Premier League is, in my opinion.
Good point,
I think that's what they'll do. They will be out there dead quick, Danielle, to bring them in. I wouldn't assume that they'll wait all summer to bring in the new signs because Eddie has already stated he wants his squad in place to go for pre-season.
Exactly, and I think with this whole Botman situation, I know he was kind of weighing up his options between us and AC Milan and all the carry on with their takeover and how long it's going to take them to be able to sign players and how long are we going to wait for him is the question. So are we going to get to a certain point and say, actually, do you know what, we're just going to explore other options, that kind of thing. But yeah, I agree with Truls. I think, get people in as early as possible. What I don't want to be doing is sitting here on deadline day going, oh, we need a striker. Yeah. Like, not like Jack. I don't want another deadline day like January. We're like begging Man United for a player. No thanks. Rotten.
Well, they're begging other people for players at the moment. I wouldn't worry. They can't get Frankie de Jong or they've completely messed up the Nunez deal as well. It looks like he might go to Liverpool. And
yes, he's going to go to Anfield.
It doesn't matter what show we do. Danielle has to get a Man United dig in, doesn't she? Quality. Peter Furbank, thank you for your £4.49 super chat. I really appreciate that. He says, I like Murphy if he could hit target a few times a season for a sub, that is. Yeah. I agree. His finishing isn't great. I do like the way that he can shoot on both feet. That's really good. But I think his shooting outside the box is actually definitely better than what it is in it.
Every time I've seen him shoot, he tries to just sneak it in the near post, which is fair enough. He's just trying to catch the keeper off guard, I guess.
Yeah. Kendo says, Targett was Villa's player of the year. It's just bitterness, and rightly so. He's an absolute steal. Left-footed, solid defender, takes corners, and he's a decent bloke.
Yes.
ADAC says so unprofessional. They have Targett on the team page wearing a white T-shirt. Come on. Yeah, he should have the new trip. He should have the top on. But then again, we were talking about this the other day, is when the strips were announced, you know, they had certain players wearing the strip. Now, were they photoshopped now? It begs the question.
I don't think so.
Well, why wasn't Matty Targett in the top?
Yeah, and if they weren't photoshopped, then what's going on with these shirts? Like,
Well, they would say the photo shoot was a while ago, wasn't it? Because
so where's the
Bruno's hair. We talked about that.
Bruno's hair wasn't blonde.
Is his hair still blonde at this precise moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, he posted a picture of him with a coconut on a lovely sandy beach somewhere, didn't he? He's got his blonde hair still, so.
Oh, it's crazy. Asif says it's unreal that people panic over speculation. We are not in the Mike Ashley era when nothing will happen or can't get over the line. This is going to be a class window. Keith says, Paul, you wear your heart on your sleeve. Thanks, mate. I do. I don't bullshit anybody. Aaron says, Man City fan here. We had people talking rubbish about us when we were took over, and now look where we are. Ignore the haters and enjoy the boat ride, guys. Thank you, Aaron.
Manchester's blue. Manchester's blue.
Yes, she doesn't like Man United, Aaron. You may have noticed that over the course of the show if you've been watching all of it. She hates the red side of Manchester with a passion. Anthony says Villa will be a stepping stone like we were. Eventually, those players will want to leave and they'll be screwed. By the way, it's the anniversary of us taking Steve McLaren on as manager in 2015.
Yay.
Just thought I'd throw that in there. Window is open till September. Don't panic. Any truth in the Badashile link? Who knows? I mean, these are what we talk about. We talk about the links, but whether there's anything concrete about them, listen, we need to realize that Newcastle United will announce the players when they sign. And that's when we will talk about them on this channel, what they will bring to Newcastle, celebrate the signings as they happen.
No, I can't wait for next Thursday fixtures. Love it.
I know. Yeah. Yep. A lot of people have tried to say, we'll be screwed early doors. We'll play all the difficult teams and all of that. But listen, we're up there now with them teams. Look where we were in the league table from January to the end of the season. We're up there with them now. We are battling the big boys. We are the big boys. Danielle says, come to me when you've been supporting Newcastle for 47 years. And if you can't, then stop running your mouth. Get in.
I mean, that's not fair because that's kind of unfair to anybody that's younger than that.
No, I think
we support them any less or more, but
I think what he's doing is he's having to go at the sort of ITKs and just say,
that's fair enough. That is fair enough, but
he's too long in the tooth to take any crap like that. Villa are doing the same as Everton. If it doesn't work out for them straight away, they will be in deep shit.
Let's hoping.
Stephen, did I hear Toon Review vibrators could get the missus into football?
Oh,
my God, Stephen.
It's turning.
That will not happen. Not happen. Kendo says, #cans again when we hear about the Scouse Mackems get their point deduction.
Something's got to happen with them.
Well, it has to.
I'm amazed that Burnley haven't really pushed forward with their legal thing with them because that kind of expenditure they had kept them up and sent
they made
down.
2 signings, didn't they? And they contributed to the points that kept them up.
Absolutely.
They shouldn't have made those signings because they were well over their FFP.
Winnie Wynn says, Danielle is talking sense. Trust Eddie and the owners. She's talking sense tonight because she's sober. Dominic says, God created the world in 7 days. Yes, she did. Amanda will take a little more time with the tune. Up the A1 says, hi, everyone. Just our look about Eki Teki. Clarky says, always love the music mixes you put on, Paul. Thanks very much. Let's remember that our manager is having a deserved holiday with his family.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
he's on the phone a lot.
He's on the pina coladas. That's what he's doing. God love him.
Pina coladas, Bluetooth earpiece in,
playing
with the kids while negotiating transfers. That's war ready for you. That's his commitment to the tune, undoubtedly. I thought Sunderland was the place for mugs. My mistake. Oh,
a strange name to say that. It's Stephen Stoko. That was a very good Sunderland name.
Yeah, well, Both.
Not good, but yeah, both teams, yeah, obviously.
Both, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not expecting wow signings. I am expecting smart signings. I think we'll get a wow signing, though. I really do. Alvin says this window is to get under 25s and cherry pick a couple of guys with more experience to get inside the top 10. I mean, it's not a bad point, that, because I think, we will be looking for... I don't think it's going to be, a team made up of a lot of under 25s. I think he wants a good blend of youth and experience, and that's tended to work in the past. Callum says, I wonder if the club will prioritise the domestic cups next season as a quick way into Europe. A cup run would be nice either way. Good point.
Love to see it.
I'd love to get the
no
Wembley.
Guarantee with a cup competition, though, isn't it? It's I think they will prioritise going as far as they can, but winning it is it's a flip of a coin. And when you're playing against teams like City and Liverpool in knockout games, it's ridiculous.
But there's been some freak years in the past, hasn't there? Look at you look at Millwall, you look at Cardiff, freak seasons, and you look back to them and think, God, if we'd have actually given them cup runs a go. And you look to Brentford under Cabbagehead, that was a massive opportunity. And we blew that. That was one of the most disgraceful games I've ever seen. And I don't care whether it was behind closed doors or not with COVID. It was a disgusting football match to watch. To watch us go against Brentford reserves, who were by then in the Championship, and we buckled. Good evening, Jim. Hope you're well. Thoughts on Macaulay Longstaff going from Gateshead to Notts County? I thought it was a strange move. I have to admit, very strange. He's a good player. Did a lot for Gateshead last season, but listen, he sees it as a move up. Then
they're both in the National League, though, aren't they? Because Gateshead went up to the National League, and
both
in the National League.
Yeah. So he hasn't stepped up, but he thinks it'll be a step up. Notts County, well, they belong in the Football League, don't they?
They just missed out, didn't they? I think they lost in an early playoff, so he sees that as a way back into the Football League. So,
as for the earlier point, you don't prioritise the cups, but what you do is you put sides out that are capable of winning ties each time you win it.
Yeah, and I think Eddie will do that next season, Billy. I really do. I think he'll, but hopefully he'll have a big enough squad to be able to do that, where we can bring in different players, but still quality. And that's the difference that we're going to be seeing with Newcastle United. James says the Toon review, the GOAT. Thank you very much, James. Darren says the PIF will want success quickly to showcase the club. Don't discount that they will want us to compete at the highest level. They own 50% of Uber, and look how much money has been thrown at them.
Yeah, by me this week.
I hope we can first get tickets for games next season. I don't mind driving up and down. We'll be wearing last season's shirt minus the number 4. Did Mr. Stato have Jack Clark in the list?
No, I did not.
Has he been linked? Has he been linked? I have
Jack Clark in the list?
I do not know.
He's on the list.
He's on the list now. If
he's been linked, yeah.
Who does he play for? I've never even heard of him.
He's the Tottenham Leeds kid, isn't he?
Oh, right, yeah.
What's he doing now? I have no idea. Sunderland 21-22. Sorry, what?
No, thanks.
I mean, probably no, just based on that. But I'll look into whether he's linked. I'll have a look for next time.
Austin says, even though, sorry, no super chat, still waiting for my new bank card to arrive. Don't worry, mate.
Don't worry.
Jim says, Danielle, what's the special website I can get a jersey? You know the ones. Really? By the way, it is Austria, not Australia.
Oh, bloody hell, mate.
Bloody hell,
bloody
mate.
trees here, mate.
I was ready for putting some shrimp on the barbie. I was going to go and visit Bouncer the dog.
Oh.
And Mrs. Mangle.
God, they've both been in the same place, them two.
Yeah. Michael says it's Austria, guys. Paul obviously failed CSE geography. I didn't do CSE geography. But it's Austria. Just created a replica just ordered a replica 95, 97 home top. Going to order the white and green one when pre-orders come out. Yes, and look how many people jump on me saying Austria. Okay. I was only going off what I'd heard on here. Nothing was
I
confirmed.
think when it was reported, the people who reported it accidentally were all tweeting both, and it did cause a lot of confusion. So
This was Sean Casey's trickery. This was one of his tweets, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think he accidentally put both down or one or the other, and I mean, it was a mistake. He did it by accident, I think.
Sorry, was that you sticking up for me there, Alex? I just
Yeah, well, there was a lot of
Can
it on
somebody
Twitter.
screen
People
record that, please?
I'll write it down.
The miracle of life has just happened. Stato has backed me up with something.
Just imagine the furore if you'd said Adolf Hitler was born in Australia. Of course.
Yeah. Jordan says Jesus from City would be an interesting one. He has been linked a few times. And I believe he is going to be leaving Manchester City. So, interesting. Anyway, we've got one more player for tonight. Oh, Jesus. Come on then, Alex.
Yeah, I don't want to do this one either, but the links won't go away. I mean, based on journalists in the knows, feeling, logic, this just seems like a no. But he just continuously keeps getting linked with us. I don't know why. Maybe certain media outlets are just bored. But he is still linked with us again. And yeah, I mean, if we scroll down, we can see further down in the stats for this season, 5 goals from penalties. So this up here, his 12 goals is less impressive when you consider that 5 of them are pens. He's got good output, but he's played 3,000 minutes as the focal point of the Brentford team that also had Ericsson plopped onto it at sort of the latter end of the season. So this is fine as an output, and that's it. It's fine. You know, we've got Callum Wilson. I feel like this is a much of the same sort of signing. He's not going to be better than Callum Wilson. And he's also had injuries this year as well. So he's 26. He's not outrageously young. He's peak age in theory. And everybody remembers his attitude as a problem.
Everybody remembers him kissing the Brentford badge in front of the Gallagher, which I think pissed a lot of people off.
Yes, it did.
There's a few funny ones as well. Like, I remember his pressures being a lot higher than this earlier on in the season. He was a lot more energetic earlier on, and I think post-injury when he's come back, he's not been quite as lively. They've changed the way they play slightly when obviously Ericsson came into the team, and he's a reasonably good player, and that's it. He's a reasonably good player. I'd rather bring in Ekitike, who is a decent player and is 7 years younger and has a way higher skill ceiling. I feel like if we're going to go for somebody who is 26, they need to be way better than Callum Wilson. I feel like it's because we've already got Chris Wood on the books as well. It makes no sense to have people of similar quality and less. You know, because if Tony doesn't really do well, then what? We've got all of a sudden we've got Tony and Wood on our books, both not performing very well. And what if Ekitike doesn't come on? It seems like a really weird transfer. I just don't get it at all. I mean, maybe fans of Ivan Tony can. I mean, I watched the Cobblers a lot when he was there, so I've never been particularly fond of him. He was very, very good in League One and League Two. And he's obviously played well at Peterborough, and he's I don't know. No. If we're going to bring in somebody peak age,
I'm with you.
It's got to blow Callum Wilson out of the water.
I think he's a knacker.
Knacker. That's professional talk there. He's a knacker. So therefore, we're not signing any knackers. Simple as that. Anyone good at French? Farouk says, Bonjour, je m'appelle dans ma ville un centre de sportif. Center of sport.
Je m'appelle, is that my name is?
Hello, my name is, well, it can't be hello, my name is the center of sport.
Je m'appelle?
I'm in my villa at the sports centre.
Oh.
I'm in my...
I'm called in the villa at the sports centre. I don't know.
Well, I have a little bone to pick with previous regime as well regarding this Dan Ashworth interview.
Well, just 2 seconds, mate, because we've just had a $10 super chat from Seattle Geordie. He says, Austria, get to the chopper. Arnold Schwarzenegger says, great show as always. Thank you. Get to the chopper. Yeah, we remember that.
Get to the chopper, mate.
Down.
Go on then, Alex.
Really difficult to know what's right and wrong with this interview, but I actually, it infuriated me listening to this Dan Ashworth interview because he was talking as though the things he's done in his job and are the things he's going to bring to our club. And if anybody hasn't seen the interview, he talks about if we're missing a player in the senior team, trying to connect the youth academy if there's a player we can develop, and communicating in different departments and all of these, lots of different things like that. And the way he was talking implied that we don't do that. Now, I'm sorry, but why were we not doing that? Why were we not doing that in the first place? The things that they're discussing, such as loans, developing players to fill positions so we don't have to go out and spend a ton of money on a transfer. A lot of these things he's been saying actually would save us money, which surely Mike Ashley wanted. So it's so counterintuitive and shows how crap our previous regime was. Management, coaching level, the whole lot just seemed an absolute dumpster fire. Because he's come out and said very basic things.
What? Sorry?
Dumpster, absolutely trash. I'm disgusted with it. I consistently sit
Hang
here
on,
week in,
you
week
said
out.
the word dumpster fire.
Yeah,
What is a dumpster fire?
2 words, dumpster, fire.
2 words. Sorry. That is how annoyed it's made me. But I consistently sit here every week and I say something along the lines of, well, there are smarter people than me talking about scouting. Club officials are going to be smarter and are going to be doing a better job. I always say that, and now I'm thinking, hang on a minute. They weren't doing any of these things.
No?
Alex,
Why?
they had Joe Kinnear scouting our own player.
Were these departments not communicating with each other?
No.
We didn't
Really
have
not.
functioning toilets. We had eroding.
I think there was
kitchens
one
and-
guy running like 5
Oh.
different departments. Wasn't
We
there
had
not?
eroding
Like,
pigeons.
Honestly,
Yeah.
anybody that hasn't seen or even people that have seen the Dan Ashworth interview, take on board what I've just said and go watch it when you want to, and think about what he's listed as what he wants to improve. Why weren't we doing those things already? It makes no sense because it would have saved Mike Ashley money anyway. It is beyond me, and it actually really made me angry because there's a bunch of fans. People sit in pubs at work and talk about this, and the club apparently weren't doing it.
No, because Mike Ashley was a gambler. Mike Ashley didn't want to lay out outlay, and all he wanted was
100%.
cheap as possible.
Yeah.
For the least possible outlay.
Yeah.
And that's why you're getting these results we had with him.
Absolutely, Billy. Yeah, 100%. And he says it translates literally to hello, my name is in the city in the sporting centre.
I knew
Yeah,
what my
moaning.
name is.
Good moaning.
I was pissing by the door, looking for the Madonna with the big boobies. Quality, hello. Andrew says, wow, I like these passionate Alex rants. Yeah,
we do.
The heat's getting to him out there at the minute.
I just assumed that we would have been doing stuff like that anyway. It just really tilted me.
Michael says, I agree, Alex. How shocked must Ashworth have been in these first few days when he took stock of the current state of the club?
Yeah, but it's probably improved, obviously, since October of last year. So if Ashworth had have walked in the doors in October, he probably would have had a meltdown.
Hashtag Frenchness, says Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Tom says, that's not a criticism of Lee Marshall, by the way. He's a decent bloke.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
The French guy was probably a friend of Vecchi Techi's. Maybe. You never know. Surely Castore have breached any contract they had. Well, listen, it's been an absolute farce. But there you go. Right, we have come to the end of the show. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us on a Friday night. Over 1,000 watching, which is quite incredible. The viewing figures for these live shows are just incredible. They really are, and it's thanks to you guys out there. Really, really do. We all appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, guys, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the the notification bell so you know when we've released a video or we scheduled to go live. Follow us on social media. We've got a Facebook group. We're on Twitter. We're on TikTok, Instagram. Follow us on there. And don't forget to get your mugs in. Somebody asked in the comments before if there were massive mugs. No, they're just normal coffee mugs. But more to come on the subscriptions. Merchandise. Paul Swan says, "Can we have a show till 10 p.m.?" No. We will keep you grasping for more. But we will have shows over the weekend. Sunday night, I think we're gonna. I don't know whether Alex is going to be able to join us because he may be in the air, he may be in the UK, but hopefully he will. It's 8 p.m. on Sunday night. We'll do the best ever Premier League 4-11. Which I think is going to be oh wow, somebody's quick off the. So it'll be a great show, and we're looking at everybody to join us in the comments for that, and let us know if you agree with our selections. There'll be just no Newcastle. Irish. Sorry, just Newcastle. Just Newcastle. Yeah, the greatest.
What were you saying? There's no what?
There's no Irish players allowed, by the way.
For God's sake!
I know, but
given out.
Yeah, so that's shaking done.
In.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. So don't give giveaways. So join us for that at 8 p.m. on Sunday night. Now, as for transfer shows, if anything really happens over the weekend, we will go live, especially on Sunday. We may do an afternoon live show for transfers with me, Billy, and Danielle, because Alex will probably be in the air at that stage. So.
Yeah, well, I can guarantee that I know when we're going to sign a player. We'll sign a player when I'm in the air, and I won't be able to know about it. That's when it will happen. It will, 100%. I don't
think anything will happen over
as soon as the
weekend.
wheels leave the tarmac.
No,
everything will go crazy.
Yeah, I'm not expecting. But if any players get a strong link, then we'll probably do a transfer show. So keep them notifications on. Keep an eye on social media. Keep an eye on the channel itself, and we'll bring you all the news. But thank you so much for everyone for spending your Friday night with us. Really do appreciate it. Thanks to all the super chatters as usual. Fantastic generosity again. Thank you to you three for joining me. Thank you to the mods backstage. All the help we get from them tonight. And we will see you over the weekend, guys. Actually, Billy, are you wanting to do a watch along tomorrow, or?
No, I can't tomorrow.
Right. Well, we'll schedule one in because we'll schedule another historical watch along very soon. Oh, and by the way, I did say I'd put the new cartoon character of Ian from Toon Trader. Make sure you get your raffle tickets in, guys, because time is running out. We're going to do the draw live on my show. So it'll be very interesting to see who wins that signed Newcastle United shirt. It is still open for if you want to purchase a ticket. So get yourself across to there and get one. But this is the new cartoon character for Ian.
That's class. That's classy spoon.
I love the way he's done. Susan's done a spoon with "Let's Spoon" and a love heart in the middle of it. I think that is absolutely brilliant. So there you go, Ian. If you managed to watch the rerun of this, there is your cartoon. I will put it up
spoon,
on
that mind, isn't it?
It's class. Huge. But it's probably like a teaspoon to me and Billy, but it's a decent sized spoon. But there you go. And I will put that up on social media as well. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Have a cracking weekend, guys, whatever you're doing. Take care. Good night.
Away the lads.